SwimOutlet.com delivers the best online shopping experience. With an extensive selection and the lowest prices, you're guaranteed to find the product you need. Here's what you get. Free shipping on all orders over $49. Free 1 to 2 day shipping on all orders over $99. All orders placed by 6 p.m. ship out the same day. Shop at SwimOutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, June 21st, 2012. I'm your host, Tiffany Elias, and today in the Finis Monitor is one of the top-ranked Golden Bears, Cindy Tran, joining us, not too fresh out of practice, but Cindy, thanks for fitting us into your schedule. All right,
so welcome. Hi.
You've had a busy couple years. The last time we had you on our Morning Swim Show was back in high school when you broke Natalie Coughlin's national record in that 100 backstroke, so pretty impressive couple years, I'd say. How do you feel that your last couple years have gone, and now finishing your first 2 years at Cal?
I think I did. I'm happy with how the effort that I put in for the past 2 years, but I'm excited for the next two, last two.
You started off with Cal on a very high foot, coming in already with very impressive standards, and then now American, NCAA, U.S. Open record holder. So are you about where you would have hoped you wanted to be halfway through your college career?
Yeah, I would say so. I was hoping that my other events would be farther along than they are, but I'm excited for that this coming year. I'll be working on my other events.
Now, what would those events be? The 100 butterfly, and we've seen you in a couple times.
Yeah, and the 200 back.
200 backstroke.
Yeah, I don't think that event's leaving me, so I might as well enjoy it for the next 2 years.
Now, typically, as in my experience, as college swimmers get older, they like to start to transition more towards those shorter races, but you actually want to step up to the 200 and see if you can make that one just as strong as your 100?
Ideally, yes, but I figured since I'm not going to get out of that event, I don't think I can negotiate that. I might as well just get better at it.
Now, why can't you get out of that? Just because Cal needs a 200 backstroker?
I don't. With the incoming class we have, I don't necessarily think we need it, but I think just for my own benefit, I think it would help the 100 if I got better at the 200.
I think that's what a lot of swimmers strive for in their training. But now that you mentioned your incoming class, let's talk about Cal, who's just created this dynasty over the last couple years, and 2 years down for you, 2 national titles, and you have a super strong class coming in. You've got Elizabeth Pelton and Rachel Bootsma for your backstrokers. How's Cal feeling going into next year?
I don't think we should ever take it for granted just how competitive collegiate now, like the collegiate swimming is now. So I don't want to say that it's like guaranteed, it's guaranteed a successful season, but I think we'll be able to do some pretty great things next year. So I'm looking forward to having them come.
Right, nothing's ever guaranteed, but you're definitely putting the right pieces in the puzzle there to have success. Now, speaking of how competitive it's getting, you dropped a good amount of time from freshman to sophomore year when you won the 100 back both years, and your second year, 50.8 was it? I think it was at NCAAs, or 51.8 was what you were in high school, down to 51.3, then you got even below that. So where do you think you're going to have to be next year to secure that title again?
I don't like to put a time on it. I think my strategy has always been just to do what I can in practice every day. Well, that's my new strategy. But in the race, I want to be in my own race and not thinking about other people, and whatever that outcome is what it is.
Now, were you shocked at how fast women's was this year? Just in general, how many American records were broken, and not just Cal, but across the board, how extremely fast the meet was?
Yeah, yeah. It was so competitive. Megan Romano's 200 free was just absolutely amazing.
Was that your standout race of the meet, or most shocking?
Yeah, for me, I think that was the most exciting. And I didn't even get to really watch it because I was preparing for my race. So.
Yeah, I think everybody was pretty blown away including herself, when they saw that time.
Yeah.
So this year, you also stepped up and did the 100 butterfly. So you branched out a little bit. You think you'll, like you mentioned before, you're starting to expand. Is that transitioning over into your training? Are you starting to do a lot more in practice to be a little bit more well-rounded in those other events?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I like backstroke so much more. I can breathe, but yeah, I'm forcing myself to do other strokes, particularly fly. So hopefully it'll pay off in a year.
Now, what does a typical Cal practice look like for you? Whether it's amount of yardage, do you try to do certain backstroke sets every day, or what's something that's pretty standard for Cal training in your experience?
Well, we do warm up.
Always good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we do dry land typically before every workout, especially in the morning. And I don't think I can say exactly what a typical workout is per day, but we have kind of a structure for during the week. Like in the morning, like the beginning of the week, it'll be more distance aerobic oriented, and then in the afternoons it'll be more sprint oriented, I think. But that's how it's been this past year. And Terry mixes things up quite a bit, so it keeps us on our toes, so we never really know what's coming. Sorry, that's a hard question to answer, just because we're so unique in the way that we train.
Now,
And I like that, so that's beneficial for me.
Right. Now, transitioning into trials, have you started, which is in a week, have you started tapering or resting, or where are you at right now in your preparations?
We're resting. We've slowly been transitioning into the resting phase. We're not allowed to call it taper. So,
why is that? Just bad spin on it?
Yeah. Just because, like, I don't think it's fair when people say that they've missed their taper. It just doesn't make sense. So we just call it resting, I guess.
Now, do you think that they say they missed their taper because they didn't do what they needed to do, or they didn't follow their coach's plan? Are you saying swimmers need to take more responsibility for how they hit that championship meet?
Yeah. I think that it's just, I guess it would be just an excuse. I mean, there's so many different factors as to why people do, like, how people swim at a meet. So missing your taper is not really correct or relevant.
Right. So how is preparing for Olympic trials different than preparing for NCAAs? Do you do anything different, your mindset? What's the difference there?
I think training-wise, I wouldn't say just the difference is long course and short course. So the mental preparation of how to execute a race is different, but I think that NC's was a lot more mentally stressful than for me personally anyway. Just because NC's it's based on, like, the team and how the team does, and that's where, if I didn't do well, that's what I would be disappointing. Whereas trials is it's more about me, and if I don't do well, I'm disappointing myself. I'm sure I'll disappoint Terry, but.
Well, you've always been more of a team-oriented swimmer. We can definitely tell that just over the last couple years of watching you. Now, you mentioned long course to short course. Does that, you're so notorious for your short course and underwaters. How does that equate over to long course? Are you excited for those swims, or do you feel at a disadvantage with the lack of walls?
I think both. I'm excited to race because I've learned to swim a lot more in the past couple of years, and I enjoy long course. Like, I really do enjoy swimming, and I enjoy long course practices more than short course practices. So I'm excited to race long course. It's just it's a little scary for me, just because I'm not as familiar with short course as I am with short course.
Right. Well, Cindy, to wrap up here, looking ahead to next year's season, how many swimmers do you think we can predict to see in that A final of the women's 100 backstroke? I think it's going to be a pretty solid Cal heat right there.
Yeah. Ideally, if we could get everybody up there, we would have about 5. I think we have 5 backstrokers right now with the incoming freshmen. There's me, there's Stephanie Au, and there's Melanie Claren, and then Boots, Melanie Pelton. But I mean, it's so competitive that anything can happen. So I wouldn't say for sure.
Right. Well, you guys are doing everything right, so I think that's going to be an exciting one to watch next year. But thanks for joining us, and we are looking forward to see how you do at trials.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck, Cindy.
Thank you. See you there.
Well, that wraps up today's morning swim show. We encourage you to join our morning swim show discussions. Tweet us your thoughts at Swimming World or follow us on Facebook, and join us again for tomorrow's show.